Hello and welcome to Switch Scheme. It's the end of 2023 and sights are already set on what 2024 will bring. In this video, we're going to be covering the games coming in 2024 that I am the most excited to see. If you enjoyed the content, drop a like and sub, share with your friends, and comment what game are you most excited for next year. Remember, Switch Scheme hosts a month-long giveaway. Watch for the code word in the video and use it in your comments down below. Also, let's work to get the video to at least 20 likes, as since this is a new channel, it'll help me out tremendously. Alright, let's get into the list. Prince of Persia has a long history, and although some of it is marred in quicksand, a few games like the impeccable Sands of Time that I played on my GameCube stand out as the best in the series. One thing though that I did not like about Sands of Time, and I know this sounds petty, was the fact that they shifted to a 3D perspective and environment. I love the 2D Prince of Persia from '89, it was such a great addition to side-scrolling platformers of its generation. The Lost Crown is bringing back that 2D style, and I couldn't be more excited. The graphics are extremely colorful and slightly cartoonish, which means that they should thankfully run really well on the Switch, and the few gameplay clips that we've seen make the game look fast and exhilarating. The main thing though that has me concerned about it is that it's Ubisoft. It's a company who generally doesn't make games that I like, but I'm always willing to give their games a try, and The Lost Crown will be no different. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is set to release for the Switch on January 18th. I love Mario, and I always enjoy the games for their cute charm. Princess Peach Showtime looks like it would be the perfect way for Peach to debut as a primary character in her own game. I really enjoy the concept of her changing outfits to alter her abilities, much like how Mario eats or collects things to gain his powers. From Detective Peach to Kung Fu Peach, it looks like there will be a large amount of sets to collect, and I wonder to what extent they can be used in other levels. How awesome will it be if you can get certain outfits and go back to the other plays and use those outfits to collect new items? I think that'd be pretty cool. One thing I'm not so keen on is the name of the villain, Wicked Grape. I'm sorry, but I think that's pretty lame. But beyond that, I'm actually super excited to see what new mechanics this game brings to the world of Mario. I also question how great it would be if in the next Super Smash Bros. We see alternate outfit Peach Horde mode. That would be pretty cool. Princess Peach hits our shelves on March 22nd. Eiyuden Chronicles Rising is a decent game, and to be honest, I just wish it were a little bit better. This leads me to be slightly concerned how 100 Heroes will be received. I really like Suikoden 1 and 2, and I cannot wait for those to be re-released for the Switch. Sadly, that has been delayed, so the waiting game for those is still on. Until then, we will receive Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes, which, based on the trailers, looks like a really good spiritual successor to Suikoden, and hopefully it will scratch the itch left in its place. The combat looks really fun, and the visuals entice me every time I see gameplay. As I said, I am just concerned though because of the mixed reception of the first game Rising. And with the numerous delays 100 Heroes has seen, it could have either given it more time to simmer or to burn. Hopefully it delivers what all of us Suikoden lovers are looking for. 100 Heroes is set to release on April 23rd. Luigi's Mansion 3 is so wonderfully spooky that I replay it every Halloween since its release in 2019. Well, back in 2013, Luigi's Mansion 2 was released for the 3DS, and it was a hit. In fact, I believe it's the best reviewed Luigi's Mansion out of the three, grabbing mostly 9s and 10s during its initial release. After King Boo destroys the Dark Moon, Luigi must set out to fight his old foe and gather the shattered pieces of the moon to put it back together. Having this absolute masterpiece from Nintendo being re-released for the Switch is a chance for a newer generation of gamers to get their hands on one of the best Luigi games ever made. Another great thing about Luigi's Mansion 2 coming to the Switch, maybe we'll get other 3DS titles ported over to our newer handheld. That would be pretty cool. Luigi's Mansion 2 is set to be released sometime in 2024, no specific date has been provided. The GameCube didn't have a large library like the PlayStation, but among its few titles were some absolute bangers, from Resident Evil the Remake to Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. The system was a true gem for those of us who had one. Thousand Year Door is the sequel to the N64 Paper Mario, which in of itself was a phenomenal game. Many, however, including myself, prefer Thousand Year Door, and after the somewhat disappointing release of Origami King, hearing that Thousand Year Door was set to get a remake for the Switch sent many fans fist pumping in the air, mine included. Peach is abducted yet again. However, before we jump to conclusions and persecute him without evidence, it wasn't Bowser. He still tries to enact his own nefarious schemes, but Peach is abducted by the Shadow Queen and her X-Nauts, and Mario must set out to collect the Crystal Stars to save her. It's such a fun game and very unique with its art style and mechanics. This is one of my top and most anticipated games of the year, and I am hoping it receives the remake justice that it absolutely deserves. Thousand Year Door comes to the Switch sometime during 2024, yet again with no specific date. As a child, Metal Slug was one of those arcade games that I would see in a pizza shop all the time. and the amount of quarters it took from me could have been spent better in stocks and bonds, but that's neither here nor there. The Metal Slug series is one of those games that most gamers know due to extremely unique style, sound effects, and exhilarating side-scrolling combat. There are like 7 games in the main series as well as a few spin-offs and collections, which are all hit or miss. But one undeniable fact is most gamers will recognize it instantly. That's a legacy. Now, Metal Slug Tactics, in theory, will be my favorite game of the year if, 1, it actually comes out in 2024, since it's been delayed multiple times and doesn't even have an actual release window in the current moment, or 2, if it has good, deep tactics combat. Aesthetically, it's already winning me over, but if the combat is shallow, lacking, or if the game is just super short or lacks any decent form of a story, I feel like it will crash and burn. I hope it doesn't, but who knows? We don't, because we aren't being told much of anything at this time. Dragon Quest III is one of arguably, if not the best Dragon Quest game. Dragon Quest XI really came in swinging for me, but 3 still holds the title. I've played it since it was released on my Game Boy. I've played it ever since they released a port to the Game Boy Color, and I broke the cartridge because I played it so much it was worn to pieces. The music, art style, story, it all sticks out to me and brings back fond memories of my already crappy childhood. So when they announced that Dragon Quest III was getting the 2D HD remake attention like Live a Live, I legit got tears of excitement. That's how much this game hits me from a nostalgia standpoint, as it really did help me get through my really bad childhood. I don't really think they could botch this, so my hype meter is about as maxed out as it can be. It was announced back in 2021 and we're still waiting for any information. Hopefully we will only have to wait until next year. Come on, give us the game already. Now, I'm rather new to the Trails series. I had not played any of them until I started my collection of Switch games, starting with Cold Steel 3 and 4, now including Zero, Azure, and Reverie. As such, I am eagerly awaiting the next game in the series. I enjoy the art style of the games, and I really love the music each game comes with. I always enjoy picking up the title from Falcom because they usually include a soundtrack code for their games, and as such, I have a folder of like 35 songs that I can just put on when I'm writing scripts or scouring the worlds of Azeroth during Seasons of Discovery. Although the games aren't always 9s and 10s, they continuously deliver deep RPG stories to dive into. I suspect Trails Through Daybreak will be no different. It sold extremely well in the PS4 in Japan, so I am hoping that those sales are indicative of quality, but we won't find out until Trails Through Daybreak releases sometime in 2024. Finally, we come to the game that I am the most excited for in 2024 that I at least know is actually coming out. Leaps and bounds above every other game on this list, Unicorn Overlord. Look, name aside, every time I see footage, I engage my brain 100%, and as with someone with severe ADHD, that's impressive. The combat looks to be a mix of real-time strategy and tactical combat, which I hope comes out really well. I'm sure it will, and I give my full confidence to the team working on it, as Vanillaware has a decent track record, with Dragon's Crown being one of my favorites in their library. 13 Sentinels is another one of their games that I really want to play, but I just haven't been able to get a copy yet, but I have heard all good things about it. Obviously, considering it has taken 10 years since initial conception for this game to come out has me concerned to a small extent, but I hope once again it's more of a slow roast to perfection rather than a simple overcooked to dry time. I already have the collector's edition pre-ordered. I did get the collector's edition because it comes with a card game, and as an avid board game collector, having a limited edition release like that would be kind of fun to own. Unicorn Overlord is set to hit the system on March 8th, 2024, and it is my most anticipated game of the year. There you have it. Those are the games in 2024 I'm the most excited about. Are there any games on your list that I missed out on? I left some out like Metroid Prime 4 because we simply have no clue when it's coming, but I know quite a few of you would have that high on your list. I personally expect that Nintendo is just saving it for a launch title for their next system, but that's just me with my tinfoil hat. Anyways, thanks as always for watching, and remember to join the month-long giveaway in every video to increase your chances of winning eShop codes to help you buy more games. I'll see you later, and as always, have a great day.